Hopefully you've had a chance to look over some of the features of the Canadian Retirement Income Planner, and now you're ready to actually use it. Your first stop should be the Personal Info button. You can see that there are two tabs on this form. The first tab is where you'll enter your information, and while the planner will work just fine if you're single, if you have a spouse or partner, you'll enter their information on this tab. The input on the two tabs is virtually the same, but it's important to note that if one parent stayed home to raise children through their early years with little or no income, that parent's info should be entered on the Spouse Partner tab. The reason for this will be made clear on the CPP and OAS page when you read about the child rearing benefit. The form is basically self-explanatory, but there are some simple instructions over here on the right. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to fill in the first names, birth dates, and genders for two individuals. The planner uses this information to personalize the user experience, with gender being used to individualize pronouns. You can see that entering your last name is optional and it isn't used anywhere on the planner. Next, I'll use these three drop-downs to select a date of birth. And then I'll use this drop-down to select the gender. All of the dates on this form use the same set of drop-downs to select dates. Now I'll make the same three entries on this tab. And once again, we'll pick a date of birth. And this time, instead of using the drop-down, I'll just use the keyboard to select a gender. The next four fields here are optional and are only relevant if you have a defined benefit pension, so you can leave them blank otherwise. Here you can enter the name of the company that you're working for or worked for, and once you retire, you can enter your retirement date here. Next, you can choose from a list of popular pension options, once you know the one that you're going to choose, of course. And then your pension provider, and there's an alphabetical list here of about 100 pension plans in Canada to choose from. With both of these fields, if your pension option or your pension provider is not listed, you can simply type them in yourself or just leave these two fields blank. Lastly, if you want to continue using this planner after you retire, you can come back to this form at any time and enter your CPP and OAS start dates by using these two sets of drop-downs. Once you've filled in the form, click OK and everything will be transferred to the Personal Info page. As I mentioned earlier, the information on this page is used throughout the planner to personalize the user experience, and you can update or add information to this page at any time by going back to the home page and using the Personal Info button again. Now it's time to enter your financial info. Just like on the other form, there are some simple instructions on each of these tabs. The first four tabs are where we will enter our personal financial information. The first tab is for the CPP and OAS, and if you're still planning for your retirement, you can log into the Service Canada website and they'll show you the estimated CPP and OAS monthly amounts you'll receive at 65 years of age. You can then enter those amounts here. Since this planner is always forward-looking, some people may even want to use it after they retire. In that case, then once you start receiving your CPP and OAS, you can come back to this form and enter your actual amounts here. The OAS recovery tax is explained in great detail on the CPP and OAS page, and if you want to see how it might affect you after you retire, this is where you can enter your previous year's net income, which will be used to calculate the tax and then show you your adjusted monthly OAS payment for the current year. This next tab is where you can enter the combined value of any RRSPs or LIRAs if you want to see how they might grow over time. And if you're making regular monthly contributions, you can enter those amounts here and they will be added to the calculations on the RRSP and LIRA page. Then, if you're enrolled in a defined benefit pension through your employer or a union, This is where you can enter your lifetime monthly amount and the bridge amount if it still applies to you. You can get these amounts from the annual pension statement that you receive from your pension provider. If you're enrolled in a defined contribution pension through your employer, please combine its value with any other investments you own that are outside of your RRSP or LIRA, and then enter the total here on the Investments tab. I've listed some investment types, but there could be others. And here is where you can enter any regular monthly amounts that you are investing, and they will be added to the calculations on the Investments page. You can update these amounts at any time if they change by coming back and using this form again. This planner uses a conservative rate of return of 3.75% and an inflation rate of 2.25% to predict growth for all of your investments, including your RRSPs and LIRAs. You have the option of coming here and adjusting these default values by using these two drop-downs. Keep in mind that changing them here on the Investments page will also change them on the RRSP and LIRA page. Next is the Working Income tab, which is optional. Most experts agree that you'll need less income when you retire, but the question is how much less? And another question might be whether you agree with them or not. If you want to be able to compare your estimated retirement income against what you're making today, this is where you can enter your average bi-weekly net income and any rental or other types of income you may have. And if you think the percentages on the income analysis page need to be adjusted in any of the three retirement scenarios, this is where you can adjust them by using these little drop downs. And for anyone who retires but is possibly still working in a part-time job or has other sources of income, this last tab is where you can enter any payroll, rental, or investment income as a monthly amount, or any lump sum or one-time amounts that you might be planning to add to your income. So, after you've filled in your financial information, why not go over to some of these financial pages and see what you can learn? Your first stop should be the income analysis page to have a look at the three retirement scenarios. And after that, have a look through the CPP and OAS page to learn about this important aspect of your retirement. Remember, the whole point of this planner is to help you make some important decisions, and everything can be adjusted as your retirement plan develops. Thanks for watching.